When the future is full of fools, the con man becomes king.
C.M. Kornbluth didn't just write science fiction, he wrote warnings wrapped in satire, and The Marching Morons is his most vicious little gift. Published in 1951, it's not a comforting read, and it doesn't flatter the audience. Instead, it looks us straight in the eye and says, this is what happens when stupidity outbreds intelligence. It's not subtle, but then, why should it be? Subtlety is wasted on the morons. The story begins in a future where intelligence has become a scarce resource. Most people are simple-minded, happy to consume, chatter, and repeat slogans without question. They're not evil, just vacant, and there are billions of them. Civilization limps along only because a tiny, exhausted elite works behind the scenes to keep the lights on and the toilets flushing. They're not heroes either, just overworked maintenance staff for the human race. Into this mess walks honest John Barlow, a fast-talking hustler thought out from the past, and he immediately spots his opportunity. Barlow is one of those men who can smell desperation and turn it into profit. He listens to the elites explain their impossible situation and offers them a solution that's as simple as it is monstrous. The beauty, if you can call it that, is that it works. Kornbluth doesn't let us off the hook with noble sacrifices or miraculous breakthroughs. He hands us a plan that is horrifying, effective, and disturbingly easy to imagine being implemented if the right man with the right smirk came along. That's why the story has stayed alive. It's not about ray guns or rocket ships, it's about the ugly things people will do when they run out of better options. Kornbluth's satire is merciless. He mocks the jingles, the chatter, the empty obsessions of a culture that's drowning in noise. It's funny, but it's the sort of laughter that curdles as soon as it leaves your mouth. Reading it today, you can't help but think of algorithm-driven feeds, influencers selling nonsense, and the constant roar of distraction we willingly pipe into our brains. Kornbluth saw it coming, only he imagined radio and billboards instead of smartphones. The tools change, but the stupidity remains constant. What makes the story especially sharp is its refusal to give us heroes. The masses are faceless, interchangeable, and frighteningly familiar. The intellectual elite are exhausted caretakers, not champions. And Honest John, the closest thing to a protagonist, is a greedy, immoral opportunist who thrives precisely because everyone else is too dim to stop him. Kornbluth doesn't even allow us to feel smug as readers. The joke's on us because the satire lands too close to home. The context makes it even darker. Written in the early 50s, when television was exploding and advertising was colonizing every spare inch of consciousness, Kornbluth was part of a circle of writers who distrusted the culture they were living in. Unlike Asimov or Clarke, he didn't imagine shiny futures where progress solved problems. He imagined futures where the problems wore loud shirts, hummed advertising jingles, and voted for the wrong man over and over again. And tragically, Kornbluth died at only 34. To leave behind something this sharp at such a young age is both impressive and bleak. He didn't get the time to soften. Why does it still matter? Because you don't have to squint very hard to see our own world in it. Swap the jingles for viral ads, the chatter for trending hashtags, and the faceless crowd looks uncomfortably familiar. The opportunists haven't gone anywhere either. They've just traded in their fedoras for tailored suits and better microphones. The satire works because it hasn't aged at all. That's the most depressing compliment you can pay it. In the end, The Marching Morons isn't just a story, it's a diagnosis. It tells us what happens when intelligence becomes a luxury item and opportunism becomes the dominant survival trait. It makes us laugh, then it makes us wince, and then it leaves us wondering if maybe, just maybe, we're already living in the world Kornbluth described. It endures because it refuses to be polite and because it refuses to reassure. It's the kind of science fiction that doesn't show us the stars, it shows us the mirror, and what's staring back isn't flattering.